From having shared some of the most intimate scenes ever seen on screen, to him always taking his co-stars' values and opinions very seriously, here's the one cast member that Sam Heughan always turns to for advice. I'm pretty sure you've guessed it by now. It's none other than his TV wife, Katrina Balfe. In an episode of Vanity Fair's game show, Heughan confessed that he takes a lot of help from Balfe, whether it's a matter that concerns his personal life or if it's just work-related complications. This man feels super safe with her when it comes down to asking someone for a little help. And of course, Balfe isn't any less of a sweetheart. She's got the most loving, compassionate personality. I mean, it's pretty apparent when you see the two in interviews outside of work. In the Vanity Fair episode, the two on-screen lovebirds competed to see who knew each other the best. And from the way they talked to each other, it was evident that Heughan respects and values his TV wife's viewpoint to a great extent. But I mean, this doesn't really come as a surprise, does it? It's kinda obvious why Heughan would choose Balfe to seek advice from, seeing as how they've been on Outlander since the beginning. But that's not all. They've shared several scenes with very less clothes and distance between them. Claire and Jamie are crazy into each other. That's always been a well-established fact, and that's probably why their on-screen connection has earned them countless awards and a devoted fan base. Their off-screen friendship, though, is what actually distinguishes them from all the other couples you'd usually see on TV. But just being married to someone in a show isn't enough to foster such a genuine bond. In fact, they were super awkward with each other in the beginning. This might be a little hard to digest, seeing how amazingly their characters get along on screen. But contrary to popular presumption, they were very awkward with each other at first. While the two actors were chatting on an Instagram video, Sam recalled what the first time meeting Katrina was like. He mentioned how they were both in the stables, and they were so new to the concept. They had no idea what they were getting themselves into, but I'm pretty sure they had read the scripts and knew just how much of that steamy content they're going to be filming together. If I'm being honest, that's got to put some tension into your shoulders. And Sam exclaimed how that was the moment he realized that Balfe was going to be his TV wife for the next half-decade. But it's pretty apparent that the stress of it all dissipated quickly. And as Balfe told on Drinking with the Stars, their on-screen chemistry took no time at all because he had a way to put her heart at ease.
How many times would you say have I come close to dying?
I don't know.
And he was probably one of the greatest co-stars she could have ever wished for. But despite all of this, fans weren't expecting Sam to name Katrina as his closest friend. In fact, a lot of people thought that his answer would be very different. The guy seems to have a bond much stronger with Graham McTavish. I mean, he's never really tried to keep anything in the dark, and he's always been upfront about his close relationships with his Outlander co-stars, both on and off the set. Graham McTavish, who played the role of Dougal Mackenzie in the show, is one of his closest friends, and it's not just because of good words and intentions. Both of them have done tons of stuff together, and it seems their connection extends beyond the confines of the workplace.
Ancient sweat of her. Dieu un chat. Toi, she said.
She said you were a cat.
I tried to pull away, but she held firm.
They've cooperated on a book and a TV show, both of which are projects that take a lot of time investment. But that's not all. It seems like they love creating new, mind-blowing stuff together. As an example, let's look at their book together, since it follows them on their journey around Scotland, diving into the country's history, culture, and whiskey, of course. It also delves into their personal lives, including their time on Outlander. And you can't tell me that you can just dive into such a wholesome, emotional project with a random acquaintance. Fans praised the book, which reinforced Heughan and McTavish's friendship on and off the set. So it seems you can't really blame the fans who were expecting Balfe to be a second priority at the very least. But his answer just further fuels fan theories about something entirely else.
I did. Well, I meant to too. There are times for men of peace, and a time for men of blood. I will stand by you.
Everybody's been suspecting a romantic relationship between Balfe and Heughan. Y'all probably know this already, but the Jamie actor seems pretty happy in his relationship with the Australian model Monica Clark. And though he's keeping most of the deets undercover, Claire's also a married woman. Now, it's pretty clear that other commitments have never stopped two stars from falling in love with each other. And seeing how out of the entire cast of Outlander, Sam chose Katrina, it only leads to one simple conclusion. Maybe he's got a tiny little thing for her. But all of these rumors and assumptions have been brushed aside by the star numerous times.
We'll need a host of them, lad.
I'm not alone. Say the word. We'll come out.
No, not yet. Stay close. The ridge.
With him constantly reassuring fans that they're just friends. Both of the stars have expressed how lucky they are to have met each other, and in a way, Heughan understands why fans would mistake their deep bond for something more. He explained how the two get on super well, and seeing how talented and empathetic she is, he feels comfortable with her and they have a lot of fun together. In fact, he even went on to say how having to spend time away from her makes him sad, because to him, it almost feels like losing someone in your family. A bit intense, isn't it? But he stated that everything feels right whenever they're with each other, and days of shooting together are days the star actually looks forward to. While all of this might scream romance, everything doesn't necessarily have to come down to romantic intimacy, especially because it looks like the entire cast is close with one another. Think about it. This group of people has spent 6 whole seasons working together, and seeing how they're currently working on a 7th, they've had a lot of time to get to know each other. In their book, Clanlands, Heughan and McTavish didn't just talk about their own adventures. They actually included some of the most fascinating little details of their time on set with the other cast members. And trust me, nothing could give you a better insight into their bonds than this authentic little recalling, which started off with a drunken night that the entire cast shared together, and most of them regretted it deeply. And then it all jumped to Bill Patterson's stories where they were waiting to film.
He will come with his men. He will slaughter you and burn the houses over your heads while you sleep.
As well as their first day in the pouring rain with Katrina, who was wearing nothing but a slip with around 5 hot water bottles hidden around her. Then the awesome story of Sam being saved from a raging tractor that had just destroyed the tent in which both Sam and Graham had been resting. But it hasn't just been all fun and games. The cast has had Sam's back even in his darkest days. In 2020, when the actor opened up about being bullied online with false, baseless accusations, almost all of his fellow cast members spoke up for him. Stephen Cree was absolutely dismayed at how someone as positive and nice as Heughan could be subject to this treatment, and even Meryl Davis, the executive director, had to remind everyone to be respectful of the people around them. So even though Heughan may always go to Katrina for advice, the entire cast is very dear to him. And folks, that's all about the cast member whom Sam Heughan always goes to for advice.